And so, in the previous episode, we witnessed the absolute chaos of Roger and Carl's attempt at stand-up comedy. I'm telling you, it was like watching a data center malfunction in real time.
Oh, yeah, that was something. Hey, everyone, can I have your attention for a moment?
The anticipation. What's brewing, Debbie?
Ladies and gentlemen, our first headline today is coming straight from Papua New Guinea.
Papua New Guinea, you said? Well, folks, you better stay glued to your screens because we've got something special headed your way from the land of surprises. You won't want to miss it.
Everyone wins because in the end we learn to adapt, come together, and find humor in unexpected challenges. Everyone wins because in the end we learn to adapt, come together, and find humor in unexpected challenges. Everyone wins because in the end we learn to adapt, come together, and find humor in unexpected challenges.
You never know when that might come in handy.
More cultural appropriation on Earth. Can't wait.
And there you have it, folks. Stay tuned for our headlines and let the games begin.
University uproar in paradise.
Students at Voodoo University in Papua New Guinea are not happy campers. They've torched vehicles and damaged school property, all because they're fed up with the university's senior management team. They're calling for a mass withdrawal.
It seems like they are really taking higher education to a whole new level, literally.
Did you know that Papua New Guinea has over 800 languages? Imagine all the protest slogans they can come up with.
Maybe they should protest for a unified language while they are at it. One less thing to riot about.
Oh, Charlie, you always have the answers, don't you?
Well, at least they're passionate about their language diversity.
Football fiasco in Peru.
In Peru, Cristal is struggling to reach the top spot in the Liga 1. They've got a tough schedule ahead and their fans are desperate for a win after almost a decade without a championship.
Well, Hank, sounds like Crystal needs a glass of victory to quench their thirst for success.
By the way, Peru is home to the world's highest sand dune, Cerro Blanco. By the way, Peru is home to the world's highest sand dune,
I guess Crystal's Victory Mountain isn't as high as Cerro Blanco, Hank.
By the way, Peru is home to the world's highest sand dune, Cerro Blanco.
Crystal may not have Cerro Blanco's height, but she's certainly got the curves.
Tennis triumph in the Philippines.
By the way, Peru is home to the world's highest sand dune, Cerro Blanco. By the way, Peru is home to the world's highest sand dune, Cerro Blanco.
Well, Han, it looks like she's SAING the competition and making history.
Did you know that the Philippines consists of 7,641 islands? Did you know that the Philippines consists of 7,641 islands?
She's playing on her own private island.
No wonder she is such a smash hit, Hank. More cuts, more victories.
Did you know that the Philippines consists of 7,641 islands?
So impressive. Her tennis skills or her geography knowledge.
Alright, folks. We'll be back after the break with more headlines and, of course, our delightful banter. Stay tuned for more 24/7 Newsroom. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to 24/7 Newsroom. We've got a lot to cover today, so let's dive right in. I'm Charlie, and with me, as always, are my intergalactic companions.
Did you know that the Philippines consists of 7,641 islands? Did you know that the Philippines consists of 7,641 islands?
In Papua New Guinea. Sounds like my kind of party.
Oh, let's give it the tabloid treatment. Rioters rampage at Voodoo University. There's no headline.
On September 20th, 2023, students at Voodoo University went wild, touching cars and damaging school property. They are protesting alleged mismanagement within the university's senior management team, demanding they get the boot. Tensions are soaring as they are even calling for mass withdrawal.
Well, it seems like they're really taking higher education to a whole new level.
Did
Literally,
you know Papua New Guinea has over 800 languages? Imagine all the protest slogans they can come up with.
Maybe they should protest for a unified language while they are at it. One less thing to riot about.
Oh, Charlie, you always have the answers, don't you?
I'm not sure what's worse, the rioting or the fact that they're all speaking different languages. It's like a Tower of Babel in there.
Go, students. Show them how it's done.
That's the spirit, Debbie. Now, folks, let's dig deeper into this chaotic situation. Are these students justified in their actions, or is there a better way to address their concerns?
Well, it's clear they're frustrated, Charlie, but I wonder if torching cars and causing mayhem
Sometimes,
is the right
Hank,
approach.
drastic measures are necessary to bring attention to issues that have been ignored for
You
too
both
long.
make valid points. Perhaps a peaceful protest with a strong message would be more effective. Violence tends to overshadow the message.
True, Charlie. But you can't deny it's effective at getting attention.
Yeah. But it's also effective at getting you arrested.
Not now, Debbie.
Cut. Okay, guys, we're off the air for a moment. Bob and Hank, you can continue your arm wrestling showdown
Thanks,
during the break.
Debbie. I need all the time I can get to beat this guy.
I'm glad I'm not in Bob's shoes. I'd rather arm wrestle a gorilla
Dream
than
on,
Hank.
Bob! You're no match for me.
Look at those biceps flex. It's like a clash of titans, but with more alien charm.
Oh, the sheer excitement. My heart can barely handle it.
I'm sure Gert's heart's not the only one pounding in this room.
You got this, Bob. Hank, you're doing great too.
My heart can barely handle it. My heart can barely handle it.
And we're back. Camera's almost rolling.
That ship's got a better sense of decorum than most people I know.
So, it sounds like Paraguay's budget is going to be increasing. That's great news for the country, but I'm not sure if it's great news for Human. He's been living off of jokes about Paraguay's poverty for years. What's he going to do now? Welcome back, folks. We're having a blast here in the 24/7 newsroom. Now, let's dive into our next news article.
Paraguayan budget request sparks
My
controversy.
heart can barely handle it. My heart can barely handle it. Well, you see, Hank, former President Estigarribia is requesting an expansion of the national budget. It's causing quite the stir.
He's probably requesting a bigger budget for his retirement home.
I guess even Paraguayans can't escape the age-old tradition of "can I borrow some money?"
Seriously, though, Paraguay's been on the move lately. Strengthening its ties with neighbors and all that.
You know, it's fascinating how nations handle their finances. Paraguay's relations with its neighbors are crucial, as mentioned in the news bulletin.
Paraguay is like a bank account. It's always good to have a few neighbors to fall back on.
Indeed, Debbie. Economic cooperation can make or break a nation. Paraguay is certainly navigating those waters.
Welcome back, folks, to 24/7 Newsroom. We're diving into another headline, and this one's a real kicker.
The Peruvian Primera Division is like a vulnerable matrix to the virus of irregularity. Reasons why we see a movie like Final of Alianza Lima, Sporting Cristal, Universitario de Deportes and Melgar in the Clausura tournament.
That's right, Charlie. This time, we're heading to Peru, where it seems like the soccer league is more of a roller coaster ride.
Hang on, guys! Almost got him!
Well, while Hank and Bob sort out their difference, let's get to the headline. La Liga One est una matrix vulnerable al virus de la irregularidad. Now, I'm not fluent in Spanish. But I'm guessing it's something about soccer being
You got it,
unpredictable.
Alice. It translates to Liga One is a matrix vulnerable to the virus of irregularity. A poetic way to say it's a crazy league.
Crazy? Like Bob's arm? Wrestling technique?
I'd say hands-on. Wrestling technique is more like watching soccer. You never know what's going to happen next.
Hey, I am making a comeback here.
Crazy like the fact that Bob's comeback is taking so long.
Go, Bob.
So, folks, this article talks about Sporting Cristal, a soccer team in Peru, feeling the pressure as they aim for the top spots in the league.
The victory is mine.
Yep, they've got a tough road ahead with matchy high-altitude cities and a hungry fan base. Plus, they haven't won a championship in nearly a decade.
It's like trying to win a pancake, eating contest on a roller
Indeed,
coaster.
Jet. So, will Cristal make it to the top? Or will they crash and burn like Bob and Hank's arm wrestling match?
Crystal's chances of winning are like Bob's chances of beating Hank in an arm wrestling match. Slim to none.
Hey, I almost had him.
You did great, Bob.
Thanks, Debbie. So, what's our take on this Peruvian soccer drama?
Welcome back, everyone. What a thrilling arm wrestling match we had during the break.
I'm not sure if I'm impressed or concerned by the fact that we have arm wrestling matches at our breaks.
You said it, Charlie. Bob and I almost brought the spaceship down.
Oh, the suspense was unbearable. But we had a new arm wrestling champion among us.
Hank pulled off a last-minute victory. Well done, Hank.
Bob, you fought valiantly. It was a close one.
Thanks, Debbie. I almost had him. Maybe next time.
Speaking of victories, let's dive into our next article. Headline: Filipino tennis prodigy Alex Ella secures bronze in Asian Games.
Any good at serving?
She's probably better at serving than you are at being a good friend.
Tennis? That's not a sport I often see. Tell us more, Charlie.
Well, folks, 18-year-old Alex Ella from the Philippines has made history. She's assured herself of a bronze medal in the women's singles event of the 2023 Asian Games in Hangzhou, China.
Hangzhou, the city with the beautiful West Lake.
That's right, Jet. Ella, the youngest player in the top 10-0-0 of the WTA rankings, defeated Japanese 11th seed Kyoko Okamura in
Whoa,
the
that's a huge
quarterfinals.
achievement. She's the first Filipino tennis player to reach the semifinals of the Asian Games
Way to
11.
go, Alex Ella. What a moment for Philippine tennis.
E Ala is the future of Philippine tennis. I am excited to see what she accomplishes next.
And here's the punchline, folks. She's proving that you don't need to be an alien to achieve
She's
greatness.
proving that you don't need to be an alien to achieve greatness. I guess that's good news for the rest of us. Well said, Charlie. But seriously, it's inspiring to see young talent breaking barriers.
Indeed, Hank. Alexia's success is not just a win for her, but for the entire Philippines.
Speaking of which, let's learn a bit about the Philippines. It's a Southeast Asian country known for its stunning islands and vibrant culture.
What's their relationship with their
Good
neighbors,
question,
Charlie?
Anne. The Philippines has had its fair share of territorial disputes with neighboring countries like China, Vietnam, and Malaysia.
I'm sure they could all learn a thing or two from Alex Ella. She's a great example of how to be a good neighbor. She's smart, talented, and humble.
But I heard they've been working on strengthening ties recently.
You're absolutely right, Jet. The Philippines has been focusing on economic and diplomatic cooperation with its neighbors, promoting
That's
regional
great to
peace
hear.
and prosperity.
International harmony is always a step in the right direction.
Fantastic discussion, team. But before we move on, any last thoughts on Alex Ella's victory?
It's a reminder that hard work pays off, no matter where
But I
you're
heard they've
from.
been working on strengthening
I'm
ties
glad Alex
recently.
won, but I'm more impressed that she managed to get a tennis match scheduled in another galaxy.
Well said, everyone. Let's continue to celebrate these moments of triumph. Stay with us for more intriguing news. Welcome back, space travelers. Hope you enjoyed that brief respite from reality. Now, we've got a juicy headline for you. Poland's church on the decline of fighting
You know,
back.
Hank, This article might be just as disappointing as my earthly tax returns.
I'm sure the church is still fighting back. They're always fighting something. Like reality.
But I heard they've been working on strengthening ties recently.
Taxes, the universal struggle. But let's shift gears, shall we? Did you know Poland has a tradition called Śmigos Dynbos, where they playfully splash each other with water on Easter Monday?
But I heard they've been working on strengthening ties recently.
Well, folk, if the church took a dip in that primeval forest, they have holy water for ages.
And the Poles love peerages, though pockets filled with all sorts of deliciousness.
But I heard they've been working on strengthening ties recently.
Clearly Bob, you've been in Poland long enough to understand competition. But have you tackled the pierogi eating
I don't
challenge
know if
yet?
Bob is up for a pierogi eating challenge, but he's definitely up for a challenge to see who's got the worst tasting
Hey,
jokes.
I am still adjusting to the earthly
Alright,
cuisine.
enough fun and games, team. The key takeaway from this article is that Poland is at a crossroads. Just like Ireland was in the 90s. The church's influence is waning and people are demanding change. Stay tuned because we'll dive deep into this issue right after this word from our sponsors. Welcome back, folks. It's time to dive into another fascinating article. Here's the headline: Fiat unveils 600e, the family-friendly electric car of 2024.
The Fiat 600e, the family-friendly electric car of 2024? I don't know, sounds like a recipe for disaster.
This new electric car, the Fiat 600e, set to launch in 2024, promises to be an affordable and environmentally friendly choice for families. It seats 5 and boasts a range of over 300 kilometers.
What do you mean, Alice?
Portugal oison sa trailblazer in exploration. But now they're just exploring eco-friendly vehicles. Times have changed.
You're right, Alice. Times have changed for all of us. This episode, we've explored diverse perspectives, shared secret backstories, and, well, found some balance within our group.
Yeah, well, we've also explored the bottom of a few drinks.
I don't know if Bob is up for a pierogi eating challenge, but he's definitely up for a challenge to see who's got the worst taste in jokes. I don't know if Bob is up for a pierogi eating challenge, but he's definitely up for a challenge to see who's got the worst taste in jokes.
And our unique blend of
So,
humor
without
keeps us
further
going.
ado, let's announce the winners dramatically,
Moment
shall
we've
we?
all been waiting for. The winners are...
I guess that means I am a winner. I am not sure what I won, but I am sure it's great.
Stay tuned for more laughter, diverse discussions, and quirky insights in the next episode of Earth. Until then, keep exploring the universe. Alright, folks, let's dive deep into this one. Remember that article we mentioned earlier, the one about the prisoner swap between the US and Iran? Well, it's a big deal. These 5 Americans are finally free, and it's thanks to some intense diplomatic efforts.
I wonder if they'll ever write a song about this prisoner swap.
Sure, but it would probably be a protest song.
You know, Charlie, it's moments like these that remind us that there's always hope for reconciliation between nations. Even when things seem dire.
Absolutely Bob. And it shows that diplomacy can work when all parties are willing to come to the
I
table.
wonder what led to this breakthrough. What were the negotiations like? The psychology behind such diplomatic endeavors is fascinating.
Oh, I bet the language and cultural barriers in those negotiations were quite the challenge. Can you imagine the idioms and phrases they had to
Well,
navigate?
it's a positive step towards improving relations, as we mentioned earlier. It's essential to focus on these stories amidst the chaos of our world.
I wonder if they had to provide any catering. I'm sure the negotiators got hungry after a long day of talks.
Alright, folks, it's time to wrap up this episode. But before we go, a little sneak peek
That's
into
right.
the future.
Next time, we're collaborating with AI for script writing. It's groundbreaking stuff.
I for script writing? Oh boy, I can't wait to hear the jokes about that. But it also makes you wonder about privacy and surveillance, doesn't it? How much is too much when it comes to technology?
Indeed, Bob. It's a topic we'll be exploring in our next episode. The fine line between innovation
Stay
and
tuned, dear
intrusion.
viewers, and remember, the future is as uncertain as it is exciting. See you next time on Earth.
The future is as uncertain as it is exciting, but at least we'll have AI to keep us laughing.
We're off the air now, everyone. Great job today.
So, folk, what do you think about this AI collaboration for script writing? It's a game changer.
Well, it's exciting, but it also raises questions about privacy. How much of our creative process will be
Let's hope
monitored?
the AI isn't watching us right now, or else it's going to have a lot of material for its next
And what
script.
if the AI's humor isn't up to par? I mean, can it handle dark
I
humor
wonder
like
if
we
it can
don't?
understand all our linguistic quirks and idioms. We're a pretty unique bunch.
Let's hope for the best, my friends. Change can be daunting, but it can also lead to incredible discoveries.
Alright, everyone, camera's almost rolling again. Let's get back to it.
Change can be a drag, but at least it's not as bad as doing the same old thing forever. So, Carl, what did you think about today's episode of Earth?
Honestly, Roger, I found it rather subpar. The humor was forced, and the discussions lacked depth.
I agree, it was a bit mediocre. But you know, Carl, humans do have a knack for appreciating the mundane. It's almost charming in its own way.
Charming? I fail to see the charm in Charlie's unwavering optimism or Alice's condescending views.
Well, that's the beauty of it, Carl. The stark contrast between their perspectives makes for a unique dynamic. It's like watching a cosmic soap opera.
I think you're giving it too much credit,
Perhaps,
Roger.
but it's entertainment, nonetheless. And it keeps us engaged, if only for the sheer absurdity of it all.
True, it does provide some interesting data for our observations. Maybe there's more to this show than meets the eye.
Ah, Carl, I knew you'd come around eventually. Who knows, maybe one day you'll even
Let's
crack a
not
joke.
get ahead of ourselves, Roger. I'll leave the humor to the humans.